So now let's take a look at all the 6/7 chords we've studied so far. There's 6 of them, right? There are more 7th chords out there, but these are the main 6 that you'll find in music. You'll find more as you play more songs, but these are the more common ones. And let's take a look and review. Remember, if you were to add the first finger right here, that would be an A chord. But because we are taking it away, now we have an A7. Okay? Again, with the E chord, if we were to add finger 3 here, that's an E chord, but because we take it away, it's an E7 chord. The B7 is a brand new chord for us. So remember, the D7 chord is just a mirror of your D chord, so we just flipped it and changed fingerings, and it's still a triangle, but now it's just a different way. C7 chord, just take this note out of there, and you have the C chord. So that's very similar. As well as the G7 chord. Remember, we have 2, 3, and if you put pinky here instead of first finger, that's your G chord. So a lot of these chords are very similar to each other. Now, I put them in this order because I thought for me they would be smooth as far as changing fingers and finger patterns and how it sounds. You can mix and match. So if you were to have these chords and you had them on a piece of paper, you can kind of throw them up like cards and then rearrange them in any order. And that's a great way to practice. So let's take a look and see where there are common fingerings and shapes. So we have the A7, which is right here, right? And we're going to go to the E chord. So we're going to slide that 2 up to here, from here to there. And then just simply put your first finger down, it wasn't before, and lift your third finger. Okay, so A7 to E7. That's just a nice little pivot. Now, we went from E to B before, right? So now your 1 is here. Just slide it up to here. And now you can have your 2 stay where it's at because that's the same as here. Add your 3 and your 4. And now you have your B7 chord. Now take a look at this shape right here. It's a right side up triangle. 1, 2, 3. And it's using the 3 strings adjacent to each other. 1 is in first fret, 2 and 3 are in second fret. Slide each of these down, and you're going to have your D7. So just slide it down 1, 2 strings. Okay? Slide it down 2 strings. Another cool option that you could do to practice these chords is to go from a D7 to a B7. So you got the same shape with 1, 2, and 3, that same triangle. Slide up 1 string, up 1 more string, drop the pinky for the B7. Then keep the same shape and just slide it down 2 strings for there. Now take a look. We're going to go from D7 to C7. You have the shape of here. 1 and 2 are in a row. 1 is already where you want it to be on the first fret of the second string. So notice it's right here. 2 is already kind of at an angle there with 1. So just slide 2 over now to the 4th string. Grab number 3, and you're in that C chord. And now just put your pinky down for the C7 chord. And now take a look. You know the difference and the similarities between a C chord and a G7. So here's 2 and 3. Slide those up to the ceiling. So now you got like this. Slide your 1 down to the first string, first fret. Boom. And there's your G7. All right. So now take a look. When you're going back from G7 to A7, you're just going to slide your second finger down and then grab that 3 here again, and you can start all over. Now, this is not the ultimate order of practicing these. I tell you, honestly, when I was setting this up for this lesson, I had about 4 or 5 different orders that I liked, and I just picked this one because I thought it sounded the best to me, and it kind of made sense with my fingers. I had other orders that I thought, that sounds pretty cool too, and the fingerings worked because there's so many familiar and similar fingers. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to practice and go ahead and play along with me, and we're going to play 8 counts or 2 measures of 4 beats on each chord. Okay, and I'm just going to strum very gently with my thumb. And I'm just going to go one strum for 4 beats. I'm just going to take it nice and slow, and you can follow along with me. Okay, so here we go, A7, and then I'll shout out the next chord a couple of beats before we have to get there so you can make your change. All right, ready? 1, 2, ready, A7, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, A7. E7 coming up, ready, go. Good, E7. B7. D7 coming up. 3, 4. C7. 4, 1. And now G7, go. 3, 4, get ready. A7 coming up and go. Good, we're going to go around one more time. E7. 4, 1. B7, go. 2, 3, 4. D7, slide it down. 2, 3, 4. C7, ready, switch. There it is. And G7. 3, 4. 3, 4. Now, if you wanted to, you could go back and end on an A7 if you wanted to. But since it's kind of an interesting chord progression anyway, just practicing 7th chords, you can kind of end wherever you want to. So here's what I would suggest. A couple things. When you're learning new chords, again, remember, see the chord in your mind the way your hands go on the neck before you get there. So when I'm playing my A7, I'm looking at my hand, I see it, but the picture I see in my head is actually this, the E7 chord. Even though I'm playing this, I'm thinking ahead to my E7, because if I see it in my head, boom, my fingers will go to it. Then while I'm playing this E7 chord, I'm playing it, but I'm seeing this chord in my mind, in my head. I'm seeing this, so I get my B7 while I'm playing my E7 chord, okay? So that way your fingers, your brain already sees your fingers the way it should be. It really speeds up the fingers to where they need to go. Instead of, for example, let's go from B7 to a D7. Okay, I'm looking at my B7 here, and I'm not thinking of the D7. I know I have to go there, but I'm not thinking how it looks yet. And now I go, oh yeah, that's where it goes. And now all of a sudden I get my D7, okay? It slows the process down. So if I'm playing my B7, I already see my fingers, boom. It's like they're gonna jump right to it. It's kind of like if you're gonna jump across a river or a creek with rocks in there, you already are seeing where you're gonna land on the rocks. You don't just jump and then all of a sudden look and go, oh, I wonder if there's a rock there to catch me. Oh, no, sorry, splash. Now you just are in the water, right? You're gonna see the rock before you jump on it. Same thing with your chord. I'm gonna see my fingers where they're gonna jump, where they have to go before I go. All right? So this might be the most easy but yet challenging chord progression yet because of the A7, E7. Those are easy, but a couple of the new ones include the pinky, a little challenging. Keep working hard on this and think about how you would like to rearrange these chords, and also not just the 7 chords, but the regular chords. Like, for example, G7 sounds good with C. Okay? Just like our B7 sounds good with E. Okay? So figure out what notes or chords sound good with the 7th chords. And that'll help you to be able to be more open-eared about listening to music and how to write music as well. Cool. Keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next one.